Next, we have Steam accused of being a monopoly. I'm gonna say this real quick. My cousin may feel differently, but when you're at the top, you always gonna have haters. And Steam is the #1 most well-loved, most favorable digital storefront platform. 72% of devs think Steam has a monopoly on PC gaming, but my whole thing is that's not really true. There are other avenues to buy PC gaming. You have Good Old Games, GOG, specializes in DRM free video games, so there's nothing tying it down to you. Once you buy it, it's yours. You have the Ubisoft store. I'm sorry, no one really uses that. The EA store, another one no one really uses. You have Epic Game Store. You have Humble Bundle. I don't know where this comes from other than the fact that you have high execs of certain companies just feeling like, we should be able to have someplace else to go, or, maybe that won't charge us as much, because Steam operates under the old adage of, hey, you sell your product here, we get 30%, plain and simple. But Monopoly, that's a little mixture of words. I don't think it's that serious. Trace, how do you feel on the subject matter?
Yeah, so apparently, and I didn't know this until I started researching this topic, US and UK legal takes legal action and accuses Valve of using Steam's dominant position as the primary PC digital game storefront to impose restrictive agreements on publishers and maintain high commissions, i.e. the 30% that my cousin just mentioned, which are passed on to consumers. Now, monopoly doesn't just mean you have a big sharehold. That doesn't equal a monopoly. But one key complaint that Valve forces or strongly pressure game publishers to not sell their games for lower prices on competitive platforms. This limits competitors' ability to offer better deals to the consumer. A major survey found 72% of game developers believe Steam is a monopoly, and over 88% say their revenue vis-a-vis Steam is very less than what it should be. In August 2024, the U.S. class action was filed by consumers alleging Valve's practices strangles competition and leads to inflation prices. This is filed by consumers. In the UK, a case claims Valve may owe up to £656 million in damages for alleging overcharging UK gamers by leveraging its dominant market share. Now, like I said, wow. These are claims from consumers. Having a large market share alone doesn't automatically equal to a monopoly according to the law. The definition also involves anti-competitive conduct, barriers to entry, affecting competition, and how the market is defined. And analyst quote in Games Radar article said, in other words, 72% don't know what monopoly is, taking a shot at this article claiming that 72% of devs believe that they have a monopoly. It's basically saying those 72% of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Now, Steam also has a counter saying, hey, there's Epic Game Stores, there's GOG Galaxy, there's direct sales. We don't pressure blah 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 blah. Do I believe that? I kind of feel like when there's smoke, there's fire, and the fact that these allegations was brought on from consumers, not really even executives. So there's smoke to this fire. I mean, like I said, everybody's hands is dirty in the game, some way, somehow. Just because it's little evil, middle evil, large evil, bitch, it's all evil. Val argues its success comes from its quality, not that it is mandating or manhandling its competitors. Like I said, when there's smoke, there's fire. This is a very interesting allegation. Like I said, these allegations was brought up from the US and from the UK, and we'll see what these court hearings produce. Because like I said, I remember Apple controlling their marketplace saying, hey, you have to pay us this, and the judge in the US said, no, that is not how business works. Everybody has free reign to do what they want, and you can't automatically just take a cut of somebody else's stuff. So I'm very curious how this court proceeding, especially in the US, is going to go, and we'll just have to wait and see. Let us know in the comments below if you believe this to be true, or if you think this is people hating on Val, like my cousin said, in Steam. But I just think if this is brought, a lot of these court filings was brought on by consumers, and that number of 656 million in damages in the UK is crazy. So, yeah,
I
that
am not shocked about this because the UK takes its consumers'
mhm.
rights and protection very serious because PlayStation is in a very similar lawsuit about the same thing. They feel the
Oh.
PlayStation storefront and digital ecosystem is a monopoly that Sony strangleholds, not allowing their games to be sold anywhere else but on the PlayStation network. So I'm not surprised at this. The UK
Hmm.
does not fuck around when it comes to their consumers.
Their
Now I
case,
don't
yeah.
remember their number, but if I think theirs was in the high 700 or 800 of millions of dollars. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. But hey, like I said, when you're at the top and you're doing good at your game, there's always gonna be someone who feels some type of. And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?